Hi, I'm Marcus, and this is my story. I worked at Youthville for about 8 years total, off and on over the years. I worked here a couple of times when I was younger and then came back in 2005. I'm a family support worker working with kids and their families when they first come into foster care, trying to get them to go back home. If they're not able to go home, we do work on adoptions as well. And on my caseload, we work with a lot of teenagers who aren't going home and aren't being adopted. We're working with them on independent living skills and getting an apartment so that they're ready to be adults when they're released from custody. In 2004, I had a couple of friends who wanted to become foster parents, and they talked me into taking the MAP classes with them. I didn't really want to do it because I liked my life, how it was. I had an apartment and I lived by myself, and it was nice, and I enjoyed it that way, and I didn't really want to bring kids into the picture. But I did go ahead and decide to take the classes with them without necessarily intending on ever licensing as a foster parent myself. After I came back to work at Youthville in 2005, I did later decide to go ahead and license as a foster home in 2006. I took older teenagers, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, who had been in foster care for a long time and just needed a place to land until they were 18 and ready to be released from custody. It was about a year after I started doing foster care that I met a young man who changed my life and changed my perspective. I wanted to give him a permanent home, so we started the adoption process. It was a really, really long process. It took over a year to finalize his adoption. He was duly adjudicated with Youthville and with JJA, and JJA had never done an adoption, so they didn't really know how to do that, so it took an extra long time to do his adoption. After I finalized his adoption, I continued to do foster care and decided that I wanted to have more children of my own. So we did recruitment efforts, and I found 3 other boys to have placed in my home. In September of this year, we finalized on 2 of those adoptions, and next year, hopefully by March, we will finalize on our 4th adoption. Doing foster care and adopting became the second passions of my life after working for Youthville. It changed my whole life, literally my whole life. It's really hard to be a single parent and to have teenagers and to work full-time. I have all of those challenges that every single parent has. Adopting teenagers is an extra challenge, but it's also an extra reward. And if you have a passion for working with kids and working with teenagers, there's such a need for people who will take in those older kids who often have no resources and no places to go. And they just need someone to offer them a home and offer them a forever family. And that's my story.